Hopefully that's should have improved something. I can only hope. This should be fine now. Should be. Bloody hope so. Just make sure the audio is coming through fine as well. So make sure everything's showing up alright. Probably not. These should be coming through. If not, then I will drop the stream and move to something else. Probably an issue with CMU going at the moment. Okay, so I need to have like it clicked on Twitch Studio in order for it to run properly. We're just going to skip half these cutscenes, they're unimportant. We've seen them all before, I'm sure. I just want to get through this region at least. I do like Midna, to be honest. I think she is my favourite like companion in the Zelda games. But there's just something about her. She actually has a story. She's quirky as well. But you know, also the fact that she's interesting, like she has character development throughout the game. It's like you find that Fee in Skyward Sword, she has like no personality, but she has a good story at the end of it, and like you still end up feeling for her or whatever. However, you know, she's kind of just like monotone throughout the entire game. She tends to just whinge throughout the game. But with Midna, she has a reason for like being bitchy throughout the game. But then partway through, she actually gets like better with it. She gets friendlier. And I think that's kind of cool. I think she's just a cool character. You know, but don't get me wrong. I still like Fee or I, however you want to like pronounce it. Still like her story. I like game audio sounding a bit crispy. Let's have a look. We'll try changing the API for the audio. That should be a difference. I'm hoping. But I'm just paying attention to like how everything's running because I at least want like gameplay to run smooth. Or Shadow Car Prop. Well then back at Hyrule Castle. The audio's still having issues. I don't know why that is. It doesn't have audios coming through my end, so it might be an issue with Twitch audio wise. I don't know, it just seems fuzzy. See if that does anything. Would like if my controller could work as well. Would help if my controller could work. I do greatly apologise for these issues. There we go, that's a bit better. I'll be coming through a bit better now. I hope so. That's the issues with like not just like there's a new PC, but there's Wi-Fi issues as well. Like you're always gonna have stream issues. You're gonna have like issues with quality. That's fine. It just comes with tweaking. Like how even on like the old PC, it took like a moment of tweaking. Oh, not up in there. That's a bit unusual. I think it's fine if the game audio comes through slightly sketch. Like as long as my audio comes through fine and like hear me, that should be chill. I don't think there's any of the bugs in here. You rupees. As streams having speaker audio, I'll turn it down slightly just so it's less noticeable. I'm hoping less noticeable. That being said, like as long as the stream's still coming through strong, you know, and it's watchable, then it's fine. Issues is just like there's a few things like I need to pay attention to as a streamer. Like I need to make sure the stream's not like duplicated itself or like not damaged itself exactly, but more so like split it up into separate VODs. Because you know I still don't have any software up and running, so I don't have like any way to fix it or compile it. I had the issue yesterday where it split the Minecraft VOD in two, when there's no reason for it. And to be honest, it shouldn't have done it anyway because like the Wi-Fi was going, you know, somewhat strong at least. I need to jump down in order to reach there. Doesn't seem like my Wi-Fi is being a bit of an issue today. I think it should be fine. It should be fine for this stream as well. I don't know, we're just playing a bit of Twilight Princess today. I love this game, to be honest. Hey, 5th tier. I have thought about streaming Tears of the Kingdom on here at some point for the primary reason I've spent like the day setting up a Switch emulator. And just so people are aware, like, I did actually buy the game, I do currently own the game. So, you know, I own a physical copy. which is cool, to be honest. I actually really enjoyed playing through it, and I want an excuse to play through it again. I mean, I need to go collect all the Korok seeds because I'm like, I'm going 100% with games usually, especially Zelda games of like 100% for like the majority of them, like including Majora's Mask, which is like my least favourite Zelda game. It's like my second to least favourite, I think, because of course there's like Zelda 2: Adventure of Link, where like it's not nostalgic enough. It's like it's only the second game. It's not the first game. I mean, it's slightly nostalgic, I guess, because it is on like old hardware on the NES, which is kind of cool. I do own a physical version of both Zelda 1 and Zelda 2. But Zelda 2, I say they took a giant step away from like formula, which is technically true. However, as a second game, it's still trying to like figure itself out. But no, Zelda 2 was a fine game, but fine can say a lot of things. You know, it's literally the one mainline Zelda game I refuse to beat. Like, I'd play it for a bit, but I know it's like, I know it's a buggy game. I know, like, I know it's like a bit better. I'm not sure what the saying is, but like, I'll just call it a Red Hawk, you know? Like, it stands out, but it doesn't stand out for good reasons. Oh, I don't know. I love the majority of Zelda games. Like Minish Cap is one of my favourites, but like even then, I hate the final boss on it. So they time you, and if you fail it, you've got to do like the entire castle section, and then you've got to like you have the boss on top of it. It's like you get that with every game where you have favourite parts, you have least favourite parts. That's fine. Like I'm sure everyone has that with every game. Hell, I know this game isn't perfect. You know, there's a lot of issues with it, but you know, it's still my favourite game of all time. I don't know. There's certain games in the timeline I like less than other games. Hell, at first I didn't actually like Skyward Sword at all, just for the primary reason it had motion controls. But then I just got used to them on the Wii over time, you know, and then with Skyward Sword HD, you know, when they added button controls. Button controls felt amazing for me because you know I actually enjoyed them. I actually used button controls for my entire playthrough. And to be honest, if I ended up like playing Skyward Sword on this channel, of course I'd use like apps or whatever to do it like on PC, so it's like at least decent quality unlike my capture card. However, I would still end up using button control. Let's just do the usual method in order to figure out the song. It all Zelda's Lullaby. I always thought that was kind of cool, like kind of cool way to just figure it out easily without having to remember the keys. It's just spam left stick up and down while holding down the A button. I can't remember how many of these there are like Wolfstone sections, but I there's a few more in Farron Woods, and there's like I remember there's one outside Hyrule Castle Town. I don't know. The cool thing with this golden wolf is like the shadow, or whatever they called it. I can't remember at this point. But the one thing I do, the few shadow, I think, oh, I can't remember. But the cool thing about it is it's the hero from Ocarina of Time. After Majora's Mask, like going lost in the woods or whatever, and becoming like a style child. But because he's like highly instead of Kokiri, he still like grew up with it. If that makes any sense. It became more like Stalfos rather than Stylchild. Considering the thing with Kokiri is they don't age. Which is kind of, but like Link in Ocarina of Time isn't Kokiri. Speaking of which, that is something I would stream one day, is Ocarina of Time. But for the primary reason, it doesn't take that long to beat, or at least the 3D version at least. Like, I'd see about getting on a Citra or something. You know, just so it can at least be in good quality rather than the N64 version. Also, I'd want to stream it, but then again, like, there's not a lot of people that would want to sit through a game playthrough of the N64 version because of like graphics and stuff. Like, if I didn't have it like on the 3DS version, which would be an issue because there's no touchscreen, but like touchscreen only affects part of it. I guess it would technically be fine. Whoops. Kind of mashed the A button then instead of actually timing it. Who watches the... Yeah, I always forget that. Because, what's the bug's always down here, and I always forget it. I always think it's higher up. You know, so I always have to do like the jump twice. Okay. Okay, I love that. They just target onto Link. Uh, this small walk section was always slightly janky. And that's where we need the iron boots. Little dude should be around here, down here, I think. Oh, there's rat creatures as well. Oh well, we at least got the tears so we can go back to normal Link. Remember correctly, there's a couple of sections I have to do where it's like, I think we have to do the opponent chase section. I can't remember if it's this bit. But then we also have to like go get knocked over by Goron, go back to the village, like the original village. Yeah, Auden village. Then we have to talk to the mayor, then we have to come back, and then we should be able to push him over with the iron boots. I've literally become a built-in walkthrough at this point. I think it's kind of impressive, really, the fact that I've memorised like 90% of this game. I doubt I'll go 100%. Like, there's certain parts of it that I like despise. Like the bit where I think it's the one where we're riding on the back of the car park. Like, there's two, I think. There's two where it's like one is destroying fruit balloons, and then the other one's where you use bomb arrows to blow up certain parts. But oh, and yeah, the third mini game of using the claw shots. The main reason I might not be able to do them is because I'm using like a third-party controller. It doesn't have gyro control. If it had gyro, it'd be fine because gyro helps with aiming. But it's got like pull sticks, no gyro, so it might be a bit of an issue. Yes, I don't overly hate the tier section in these games. You know, the same with Skull Sword. I don't overly hate them. I just dislike them. You know, because they take up time. I know they allow exploration, they allow collecting. But at the same point in time, Jesus, just don't do it. Look, it's the chillin'. Oh, this might be before the ball getting opponent. Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember the entire thing, but I do remember there's a section where like Colin gets bludgeoned by like a club. I think that's after we come back from Alden with the iron boots, maybe. See, it's like I remember loads of bits about this game. I remember like the majority of it. But there's quite a bit that I like get in the wrong order. It's like that's the one thing they don't mention is like how the hell did they get that? And they're just like, oh yeah, we were captured and then we're here, and he was just like, yeah, I saved them. It's like, where did they go? Like, what happened? Hmm. We love the PNG mountain. They say it's a mountain because it's like it's Death Mountain, but it looks more like the meteorites hit it. Just sharp PNG. Oh bloody hell! Got the yawning back again today. But why are they looking at me like that? Weird, man. I tell you, weird. Them children are. I believe there's something we can do in here. Maybe not yet. Maybe yeah, it'll be afterwards. I usually see like Mallow come in here to start selling stuff. I don't know. We'll get that from the postman before that's available, I'm sure. Once his bomb shop, if we go in here, he won't be able to sell us anything. I mean, we did destroy his property. Yep, curse them, foul beast, curse them all. Although we were the one that did it. Yes, we are like a cursed beast after all. And I know there's a couple of bits that I want to like collect because I remember where they are. I think there's 2 heart pieces you can get, but one of them requires the iron boots, which we'll get in like the next half hour or so. And then there's the one which we have the Gale Boomerang, so that's fine. We'll be able to get that. I think we might need the bombs and maybe the arrows. Look, force take damage. Oh, bloody hell. I mean, it shouldn't take us too long to get through Eldin. Because like in the mines anyway, we get the bow. Cool. But if it takes too long, depends how tired I get and what the time is. I might have to split this into 2 streams. Because you know, at least the next stream we'd be able to finish the mines. I don't know. No, keep an eye on the time. Apparently it's 2 AM. No way through there yet. I think we should get a pony soon. Here we are. Here's our favourite horse. This was always a cool scene. Plays a pony song from Ocarina of Time. Yes, this is probably one of the stronger links, like out of all of them. Like out of all the links, like their strength alone, this dude herds goats for a living. Like he's not just some boy that woke up in a forest or like slept for 7 years. I just found Epona like slightly on the harder side to control. Like she's not always responsive. It's usually fine. Oh, it's the postman. It's a letter from Uku. You don't have to pay attention. Oh, if it's from anyone else, I'd read it. Uku's like the most B-tier character. There's another cool thing they added in this game, which then like appeared later in games like Breath of the Wild. It's like horseback combat. Like you'd use items from the back of a pony, you could use your sword. That was always a cool thing to it. Well, until you fought like King Boblin, King Boblin, whatever his name is. No, it is King Boblin, I think. It was kind of a cool fight, I guess, but at the same point in time, like, shoot a dude with arrows and then try and dodge him at the last second before, like, stab him. Yeah, there's a wolf coming up, which means we get a new ability. In order to summon him, what we have to do is we have to use the Hellstone, howl the tune twice, and then we have to go and find the golden wolf in the wild. There's no one. No, wait 2 seconds. Heal up the half a heart we lost. I remember the name. It's bloody Hero Shade, isn't it? Because earlier on I was trying to remember the name. And I'm like Fused Shadow or whatever. Like, look at the state of him. But yeah, it's Hero Shade. platform and in block. Yeah, this is the dude that you play in Ocarina of Time. You just got like he's rumored to be the guy who's theorized to be him. Now, considering he just like wanders off into the woods at the end of like Majora's Mask and Never Be Seen Again. I never remember to use this move. It's always about getting like the timing right, but you never end up needing it. To be honest, you never end up needing any of these skills. They're just like not temporary. They're optional. They're optional things. Well, there's only 5. I remember the location of like I think it's 4 more of them. I remember the location, but I'm sure we'll see them as we come across them. Been a while since we've been back here. Jesus. Luckily, if this does go up in one VOD, I don't have to worry about making a thumbnail because I've already made it. Now it keeps coming up in the corner saying like compiling shaders. Like that's as simple as like pressing 2 buttons to like get rid of, but again to do it. Your clothes, they're green. I've just realised this isn't soldier's garbs like other ones. This is literally the equivalent of tunic of legend. This dude's never seen them before. This dude's never seen these clothes. I need to get a drink, and I do apologise. My chair is being noisy as hell. Jesus. This big bald man's going to invite us into his basement. Death Mountain. We promise not to tell anyone. Jesus. I do apologise about all the background noise. Luckily, we only have to do this, I think it's like a couple of times. I think we need to do it twice with him and then like the Elder Goron. We're going to slap a balded man's breast. What? That's one. Next, he's just going to ram me off the side, I think. Because he's a cheat. Or we could just win. So we are better at this game than he is. Oh, I think I'm having a couple of frame issues, a couple of audio issues. 2 seconds. Just letting this come through, alright. Good. Take it with you, lad. Got the iron boots. I think stream's trying to play catch up at the moment with audio and quality wise. We're having a couple of breakages here and there, which is fair. Can't remember if this is where we get the first King Bulblin fight, which I'm not looking forward to. They always tend to be the worst fights in the game, and they're always like, I don't have too many parts of this game where I'm like not displeased exactly, but like disheartened for. You know, where I'm not looking forward to it. And they're usually the King Bulblin fights until like the last one, like where it's just sword to wax combat. That's kind of cool. But like the other ones where you've got to like knock him off the bridge and then all that stuff. I don't enjoy that part. Like, there's certain issues I can look past with this game. Like most games, to be honest. Like Skeleton Sword motion controls. But I don't know, the King Boblin fights just aren't it for me. The bird. We'll get a planer as well while we have. Yeah, King Boblin tends to be the issue in a couple of the mini games you have to do. Say that you don't have to do any of them. Technically speaking, at least, other than like blowing up the bomb rocks on the whitewater rafting. We'll be able to unlock the path on the right to us after we do the Death Mountain. Always satisfying bursting through them. I tested out a couple of games on my PC earlier on today when they were installed, and I've got a good lineup of games I want to play, or at least test, because I want to do Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze at some point. That's a game that's interested me that I've never actually played, well, other than the first level. So I'd be down to do that at some point. Another thing is Resident Evil Village in October. That'll be one of the games I end up playing. Jump over here, then we'll pause in just 2 seconds. Seems like the stream might be having a couple of issues coming through, or at least on my end at least. There we go, just needed to refresh it. Here we go. About to watch a child get bludgeoned. So here we have the every bit of our issues. Everyone like Colin didn't push child A far enough across. Beth, I think her name is. Didn't push her far enough so like she would have gotten trampled to death. It's like Beth's still been like bludgeoned to death. But Beth's been run over at this point. But Colin's now been captured. Another reason why this game is one of my favourites is how expressive Link is. Oh, my controller's having an issue real quick. I think this. I can't remember if this one's like the bridge one or we just chase him down and slash him. It might be both. It might be both. I can't remember. I think we just have to chase him down at this point, but I think it goes towards the bridge. I think when we take him down, we also get the key for the gate, so we'll be able to walk into the village. Now, well, this is one of my most hated fights in the game. Ugh, it's just infuriating. A lot of the time, thankfully, like, if you get up to him, you're able to, like, get him caught on your sword quite a bit. There you go. Yep, and of course he goes towards the bridge. But this one tends to get me killed a lot. Like, it tends to get me knocked off the edge. The primary reason it's like charging to each other and then you've got to dodge to the side quickly. If there's any lag, you tend to just get like smacked off the side. But don't expect great things when it comes to me doing this bit. Technically, you've got to do this one twice, considering there's like another one later on, but he's got shields on both of his arms. So there's also a lot of time, like, if you do it too early or too late going either side. It'd help if I can actually hit him while doing it. Oh no, I can... I always dodge too far out to the side because I'm used to him, like, swinging over. You only need to do a small, like, short dodge. Makes sense. I would love if this horse could like actually listen to me. Nice one. That wasn't too hard. Like, I'm surprised I didn't actually get knocked off the edge this time. This is always so cool to see though. It's such a cool pose, isn't it? It's like one of your friends has been trampled to death, one of your friends has been bludgeoned. Oh yeah, and another one's lost their memories. And you're just there doing a pose on the back of a horse. The cool thing is with that pose, they did actually make it into like a bronze statue. Which I can't remember. I can't remember if it's like Club Nintendo Prize or just like a rare thing anyway. So cool, and I always wanted to get it when I was younger. I always thought it was perfect. I think I finally understand. Told me I needed to be stronger like you, Link. I mean, it doesn't help that Link's like 10 years older than the rest of them. Link, you saved me, didn't you? Yeah, who else is going to do it? Ilia, the one that's lost her memory? Beth, which has like the imprint of a hoof in her skull? Oh, I don't know. Is Mallow, the 4-year-old, going to like knock down bloody King of the Bulblets? To be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if Mallow could like take down King of the Bulblins. So the primary reason, it's a demon child. It's a baby with a hairline of a 25-year-old bloke. I don't know what is this game. They've always got like such cool poses at the end of bloody cutscenes. Also, we've got the boulder there that needs to be destroyed, lead to the back there, and then we've got like the one up there that needs to be destroyed as well. But we need to get the bloody bow, and then we also need to get the bombs at the same time. Oh look, Malamot. Ugh, hate that child. Bang! Got my favourite shield. Like in video game history, that is not just this game. Also fireproof. So iconic, man. So iconic just being able to look at that shield. They're going to have a shooting training where we've got to shoot the pillar up at the top there at some point. I don't think Barnes is able to sell bombs yet. I mean, we've not been able to see the mailman. Yeah, that'll be available after the mines. Personally, I don't think the mines are too hard. Pop them real quick. That's the primary reason. Like, I know pressing R's like easier for the iron boots, but when we get the bow, it's like just use R for the bow. The thing is as well is I'm over halfway towards getting like the next piece of art as well. So by the time we finish bloody Eldin Mines, we're probably gonna have 6 hearts. We're gonna have a couple of these dudes to deal with. To be honest, this Link is definitely the most expressive Link at that point. I reckon he might be more expressive than Skyward Sword Link. But like, Skyward Sword Link has like more noises and type stuff. It's like just tiring at this section, you know, having to keep removing the iron boots and then putting them back on just to move 6 foot. Oh, left that bit late to put them on. Oh, there's a section coming up where we need to like stab the Gorons just so we can knock them over. And damage boost through this section. We can't really take them out. We have the slingshot, but like you can't do proper damage with it. Just more so stuns the enemies. Okay, focus. The good thing is I think some of these meteors stop after this section. Which will be good. Will be good. I keep getting messages come through from like stream elements, just from when the stream like not repeats itself, but like gets stuck in the loop of trying to re-upload, which terrifies me because I keep thinking like it's split the VOD up into bits. Oh bloody hell! Mostly they never change the audio quality from the GameCube version. Arm back, facing a direction, we hold there and we wait. Not too bad, it's just a bit time consuming to get it right. That's one, I don't think we're supposed to be up on that bit, but sure. And although it's quite like a short section to get through, like the Eldin part, I know it takes longer than like other sections, but you know, what do you expect? More so push him over with our sword than anything. The amount of times I accidentally rolled into that vent, you know, just from landing on the side and I'll get pushed back off the edge. Don't know what happened there, it was a bit weird, it's like Link let go of him. Jumbo's going to be quite impressive, like, later on in regards to, like, the mines. Prime reason there's, like, a lot of magnetic walling. Then again, I will say, the walking noise of the iron boots is going to get very repetitive. Oh, heal up a bit. I know I shouldn't be equipping the iron boots at this point in time, but it just makes it easier when it comes to like fighting. Means we only have to do it once rather than twice. Enough! Rock Nipples McGee over here. That's gold Coron. Yeah, it's just going to tell us the same old boring gist of like, what's his face? The mini boss and like the final boss of this temple. Garbus, that's his name. I know I said it, but my mind tends to go blank, especially at quarter to 3. A good old game of slap push. Would be nice if it could let me dodge. Just slap him over the edge. Easy. Strong eyes, strong will, and yes, sharp. Basically, Darbus is raging. Stab him for us. This is probably one of my favourite temples and areas in the game. Just because of the opening area, you see large cinematic shots. Kinda cool. Does look bloody up though, doesn't it? Oh, there's multiple ways of going about this entire area. We love to time puzzle. Maybe we just go up here? I know there's a chest around the top here somewhere. We wanted to run across, then yeah, I went up the wrong ladder. My bad. Yeah, well, happens to everyone, doesn't it? Having a couple of issues there with the camera clipping into rocks. Rather wish he didn't spit molten rock at me. Magma slug. Generally speaking, that frog thing that was in the water is came across as like a descendant of the bullfrog from the bubble frog from Tis the Kingdom. But, well, they're an ancestral. No, yeah, they're a descendant of, and they're the ancestor of previous Sora races from other games. It's like link between worlds, for example, stuff like that. They had like a race of River Zora. Which damage boost. Jump. I always think like race things in like Zelda games are quite interesting because it does create like a well written story. I'm just glad that I think there's only like one or two more tiers of that section. I can't remember if there's one. I don't think there's one in the Gerudo Highlands. But I'll just go around there. And just be able to kill him with a few like stabs and slashes. Not too hard to defeat. Would be nice if you could like open the chest with the press of an A button. Also, the one irritating thing about this dungeon is the sound of footsteps. You're going to hear an awful lot of them. I think we have to return to this room twice more. Maybe once more. Oh, good old Dodongos. I think they're this game's version of Dodongos. Remember, because there's always like Dodongos or Lizalfos. I think they're just the Dodongos. I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos. Dodongo. A bit of a pain if you want to like 100% Minish, not Minish Cap, Majora's Mask, because like the thing with Dodongos is they explode in that game, and they are massive. My brain is generally getting smoother just by like streaming it this time. This is going to be interesting to get through. It's always a bit close trying to get through that. Yeah. Here's what I mean with like, you're gonna get sick of footsteps. The metallic orbs. Made with their iron ore. I will say the one thing I do like quite like, which is attention to detail, is Link's tunic getting wet. But it gets darker and then it dries off. Luckily we don't have to slap these old guys. So, we don't have a boss key for this area. Not exactly, we have like all-part lock puzzle. I mean, it's one thing I actually like Skyward Sword for, is the boss keys. Because they're not like traditional keys, they're like lock puzzles which use gyro control. And I know it's like gimmicky to like turn them around and you know, get them in the right position before like placing them and locking them in place. But it's really cool to solve, like having to match the location image with the actual key in the puzzle. It was quite satisfying, like being able to place it in and unlocking the door before like tricky boss. It is so cool. Oh, just nice. There we go. Sometimes it has a bit of an issue connecting to my controller. Ooh, cool. Whenever I think of Uku, I always think back to like watching the completionist. This controller's pretty good to be honest, like all things considered. It's pretty alright. It's like a bootleg one I paid less than a tenner for. I don't know, it's an alright controller. Thinking of like getting a more official one at least, just so like it works better. But this is the reason why people hate Dungeon. Go, in chest. I wish you could roll on the ceiling to like speed it up. I can completely understand why you can't. Judging by the size of the map on this level, I should actually be able to like run through it, defeat Darbus, like before heading off the bed. The stream seems to be running at least a bit better. It's like not dying as much, but it is 3 AM. We're only like an hour into the stream. Considering in an hour we got in and partway through this dungeon, like it's pretty impressive. You think, considering like we've been going through now, we've had a couple of issues we had to pause for, but we made it through. Like we got all the Tears of Light. Considering the first part of the stream, which I will be deleting from like the VOD list. Considering we used that to get into Kakariko Village. I think this is the right one. But no, considering it's been an hour and 8 minutes, we got all the Tears of Light, we then like beated quite a substantial boss, to be honest, with King Bulblin. I wouldn't say substantial exactly, considering it's not like a massive boss or like an overly difficult one. Like time consuming and still a boss nonetheless. Back in the central room again. We're making good progress, so I think like this stream would go like 2 hours, 2.5 maybe, considering how long it takes me to run through the rest of it. Going the equivalent of a checkpoint. It won't take too long to run through the rest of the dungeon. Have a look at the map. Like, it's 2 floors. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. But we've done the first floor. You know, we're done with it. We're moving up to the second floor now. So technically we're halfway through. Like the key piece is split into three. We got the first one. You know, when we get the bow partway through. Technically speaking, we're doing alright. Doing alright for time as well. Be about half, 2.5 hours. The stream ends, I think. If I started streaming earlier, like it'd be fine. But like we had a couple of tech issues we wanted to work through. And I think it'd be more worthwhile if like people were actually here to watch the stream, you know, rather than just play through it, upload it as a VOD. Because people do watch the VODs, at least like part of them. Like, I think the part one of Twilight Princess, where we went through the Eldin fan region, I got like 24, 25 odd views, I think. Or at least time of this recording, from when I last checked. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy streaming, I love streaming, but I despise the issues of it, like having to sit and reconfigure stuff. It's just a chore really, you know. I believe there's two ways to go about this section, because our overall aim is to hit that blue switch there. But I want the chest, so I think we can just hit like hit the key with the slingshot. This dungeon did have a couple of cool mechanics with like wall walking. And to be honest, I think I like all the dungeons in this game. However, there's a couple that stand out more than others. This and Snow Peak. Like going through the mansion, but seeing it less as a dungeon, more of like side quest is kind of entertaining. But like this one with changing the gravity is always kind of cool. It's actually given me some ideas for like making my own game, which I have actually been like planning some stuff out at least. Come in here, we'll see some enemies we won't be able to defeat. I think that's kind of weird in this game, in like the aspect of the cube, rather than like being a turret strapped to the top of something. If I remember correctly, this might be a stamp. I don't think there's usually like a stamp and a heart piece per temple or dungeon. Oh no, it was a heart piece. Means we now have our fifth piece of heart. That's kind of impressive. We now have 5 hearts. Means when we do leave this dungeon, we will have our 6th. There are a few like off Zelda games, like for example Skyward Sword. It had it where you started off with 6 heart containers, and I think part of the reason is like being able to fit more heart containers into the game. You know, like you're gonna have more space. You're gonna need to put more of them down. And like I can understand starting off 6, like if it starts off as a hard game. To be honest, I don't blame him for starting with 6, considering it had like the motion controls, and I think a lot of people remember like E3 2010, I think, when Miyamoto walked onto stage with the Master Sword and Hylian Shield. I think it was that one where he went up and he had the tech issue, where he was swinging the Wii remote and it wasn't doing anything, it was just unresponsive. There's a key in this chest. E3 was different, man, I tell you. Probably one of my favourite ones was 2010, or whenever the issue was. Because it was one of the first E3s I probably sat through, and I was 9 at the time. Loved E3. Every E3 I saw, even if I wasn't too interested in the games, it was an experience. Because I live in the UK, like I was never able to actually go and like be at one and see one myself, which was always kind of disappointing. Like I was more than happy sat like watching online chat and messaging my mates. It's so cool to just be able to sit and watch E3 and then discuss what's happening. Discussing like predictions, say, oh, what if they do this, or what if they have that, or oh, what if this gets revealed today? And it was just so cool, impressive. It's not just E3 I had experiences with that with. It's like Nintendo World Championships when they were doing those for a while. Like, what's his face? John Numbers. John Numbers. I don't know why, but I remember him winning, and I remember him coming back the next year. And he tried to win, but I don't think he did, if I remember correctly. But I remember like sitting with my mate. His name's Lewis. Pretty cool dude. I've known him like way back since preschool, I think it was preschool. I mean. But we used to sit and like watch the E3s and World Championships together. We used to play like Splatoon a lot when that first came out, and Smash Bros as well. Really cool. You know, no matter what time it was, we had like loads of Wi-Fi issues, obviously. I don't know. It was pretty cool to just like sit and watch it and like predict who would win. But I always remember like coming to school the next day going like, it's John Numbers. I know John was like mad impressive to say, but he's the only one I remember seeing. Don't get me wrong, I only remember like John Numbers, and like it's mad to think that I've forgotten like the other dude's name. Oh well, we have the mini boss here. I feel like Lewis Booth, if you are watching this stream, like good having you watching them streams with me. No, I appreciate it. We saw quite a few good streams together. Whoops, slipped in. No, we saw some quite a few good streams together. Like we saw most of the E3s together. I cannot get up. I'm stuck. Please walk over there so you can give me a platform to stand on. This isn't a hard boss fight, it's just I'm having a couple of issues struggling now. Is that aim done? Or is there another section? So there is. I always end up doing the same thing where it's like I roll him slightly the wrong direction. It should be fine. Throw him directly in. Nice. This one should give us the... I think it's called the Hero's Bow in this. Because in Ocarina of Time it's the Fairy Bow. I think this one's a Hero Bow. And yeah, he can just control like lava flow. Kind of impressive skill to have if you think about it. What's big man? Oh, we'll happily take it. Once again, as mentioned earlier, it depends on like how my controller is with aiming. Like, depends how far we do with like 100% completion. Because if it's fine with aiming, I guess I can do 100%. There is both. As it be on stream, I don't think I will. I'll go through like as much completion as I can, but I'm not going to worry about it for this game through. Gameplay. Yeah, it takes a bit of a moment to like aim. The main issue is with the Wii U gamepad, not only the sticks are slightly more responsive, but like you also have gyro. I'm a completionist, but at the same point in time, I'm like a realistic. You know, I'm realistic. I can understand that I can't like go 100% on stream because that'd be boring for people. Forward, activate. Aiming's not too bad. It's just sometimes it can take an extra minute. There I missed because I was like half a section off. Oh well, not too bad. I just realised, like, the equivalent of Volvagia in this game, like Sky Argorok, might be an issue with aiming. Considering you use like a dual claw shots for it. It's not till later on in the game, so I should be able to improve a bit. So this should be the last portion of the key, which means we're getting quite far through, like quite quickly. The last of the key, and there's something in the chest over there, which I believe might be a small key. Or a letter. Oh no, rupees. Quite useful to be honest, considering the one thing I do actually want to do on this this stream at least is I want to try and do the Mallow Mart side quest, which includes like carrying the spring water. But in order to do that, you need to have like a nice hefty pocket of rupees. Check the minimap room. We seem to be doing pretty well. We've completed like the first floor. We're most of the way through the second floor. You know, we've got most of the chests as well. I know I missed one in the previous room, but I don't care too much as long as it's not like a heart piece. Now, if it's a stamp, it's fine. We can't use anyway for multiple reasons. Considering, like, A, Miiverse shut down bloody years ago now, and also because this isn't a Wii. Usually it's fine with aiming, but like, there's not. Yeah, it's like a dead zone on the controller, if that makes sense. If you lift up slightly, it just doesn't register. It might be an issue with Darbus as well. With him, you've got to like shoot him in the forehead. I was stuck for like a while with figuring out how to drop that gate. This dude out here. Then again, I was never really the brightest of children growing up, so like, you know, I'm not surprised that I struggled with a few of these puzzles. See what, I'm thankful at least like it's slightly cooler today. Like, you know, I can stream longer than just like 20 minutes without wanting to keel over. I should hopefully be looking at getting the Wi-Fi sorted over this week. I was hoping my dad could at least like thought about it like today. You know, considering I like berating him about it, talking to him about it. But you know, like stubborn old man, he doesn't understand technology. Like, he doesn't understand why I need better Wi-Fi. I'm sick of being with TalkTalk where you can't even get like a megabyte per second download speed. It's just like infuriating when you can't even connect to the Wi-Fi. Don't get me wrong, I can understand like more than enough is money. You know, and if you haven't done like your own research, then what can you trust? You know, like when you do the equivalent of showing the PowerPoint presentation, You know, you've almost got to. I'll take those out so we don't have to worry about it. I was going to open the map then, but then I remembered that there's only 2 doors here. There's one good thing about kind of having a bootleg controller is, you know, although the aiming can be stiff and jolty at times, once you get it aimed up, all you have to do is like hold left or something, and you can get like clean shots in a row. Because you know, like your aiming reticle's not gonna go anywhere. And the one thing I did notice about this game is it's very generous with your shots. There's a couple of down here that I'm gonna get. I think this is a letter. Yeah, that's right. It's almost impressive, like when you can remember what's in a chest and what isn't. Kind of sad though. You know, like think about it. I'd give anything if I could like play through this game again from scratch without knowing anything about it. I just think that's such a cool thing. This is my favourite Zelda game. Like I'd do anything to get. Like if I could just go back to like any game in the world, you know, without understanding that's a big creature that's in the room. I'm up to. I've just seen a giant like bug walk up the side of my monitor, and it's just terrifying me. You know, it walked up me earlier. But bugs and that type of shit, they terrify me. They scare me. Oh, what the fuck is that? I don't know what that is. I would kill it, but it's going to make a massive mess. Hold up, I'm going to set this to be right back. I'll be honest with you, I haven't got to it because A, I don't know what the hell it is. B, I don't know where it's gone. Gone somewhere. But all I know is it stopped flying around, it stopped making a noise, and it's hard. I don't know. It, bugs terrify me. Bugs absolutely scare me, and I have no clue what to do. I'll be honest, I hope I don't come across it again. Like, Jesus Christ. It's terrifying. Like, it came up and it landed on me earlier and it started walking about, like, up my arm, whatever, pinging off my face. And I thought, look, it's fine, it's just a moth. It was probably just a crispy moth. It's fine. Leave me alone in a bit, it will go and find its home somewhere and it'll be fine. But no. But no. Jesus Christ. I've opened my windows as wide as they can go. They're wide anyway because of the temperature. But my blinds are now open. My lights are off, so it should just be able to go out on its own. Jesus Christ. They terrify me. Like insects. Insects are terrifying. And I hate them. I hate insects. I just can't deal with them. I don't know what it is about them, but they freak me out. Jesus. Wait for my stream to catch up. Insects are just the bane of my existence. I'm fine if they're in games or something, just because like they're not real, don't exist. If they're in person, no, I don't like them. Like, I'm considering that one just like ran up the side of my monitor. You know, it ran up the front of it, so all I saw was like a fat shadow cover the screen. A crispy boy. I don't want to do that. I'll climb either. I'll try walking about. But bugs and insects, it's fine if they're small. Like bugs, insects, and arachnids. Keeping an eye on stream, making sure like it's still running, making sure I can still hear the audio. Because we're pretty close to the end of the dungeon. Like I thought it'd be going 2.5 hours. You know? Not. We'll have a look. See. We really needed that, didn't we? Oh, the chest is up there, isn't it? Up there. Yeah, saw that. We don't need it. I've already made the thumbnail for the video, which is good. So I'll just need to like download it before I upload it. Which should be chill. Get that one. Notice sometimes my controller disconnects and like it just starts moving. I meant to say download the video, not download like the thumbnail. Thumbnail's already on my PC. I moved it over when I was transferring data from the old one. It's a pretty good PC for the price, to be honest. Considering it was just under 400, but like 380, and then I paid £3 for like a copies of Windows 11. So like, all in all, like 480. No, it was less than that because I got discount code. Let's just say 470. All right. No, 370. I mean, my bad. Just say 370. For a PC, you know, you can't really go wrong. I used most of it. I tried Atomic Heart and it worked on like mid to low settings for like graphics, which is fine, considering it's a game that I probably will never actually finish. Alright, this is Darbus. He is apparently a Goron. Doesn't bloody look like it. He's kind of cool. The crystal resembles an eye though, so it's like boring Nintendo box logic of hit the eye. The game Atomic Heart, I was really hyped for it to come out. So hyped. I loved the look of it, and I don't just mean because of them like Russian sister twins. You know the one. The one where they like put the R shots in every trailer. Like, I was genuinely excited for the game and the story, and it just kind of flopped personally. Camera. Like usual Pookie stuff, you just... Atomic Heart, I loved the look of it, and I really wanted to enjoy it. Like, but there's something about it, and I don't just mean, oh yeah, it's like horror-esque, I'm a bitch. But like, the story looked so fun. This type of Zelda boss, you can kind of just chain it. I mean, I know I'm going on about Atomic Heart, that's because I keep listening back to the audio and then thinking about new things to say about it. But I found it was really poorly optimized, if that made sense. Like, I know it's supposed to be like all high end, whatever, but it barely runs on the Steam Deck, which is made for playing PC game. Barely runs on a lot of like actual PCs. I've heard some quite bad things about the DLC, to be honest, which is also a shame. I really wanted it to do well. Yeah, that's the Eldin region complete, I guess. Jeez. The boss is quite easy. As soon as you hit him once and you get like knocked down, you can easily chain the rest of it. It's made a lot easier if you have gyro controls or like responsive sticks. And that's our second piece of fused shadow, I think. Yeah. Zant is the king of darkness. I actually theorised that Zant is actually Gerudo that was banished to the realm of Twilight. Probably for the use of dark magic in like the main world. But there's like Gerudo symbols on his robes, which is cool. I think it's Gerudo. This water's been sat on the side for like a while now. It's not good. I guess it wasn't 2.5 hours I was expected to finish that dungeon in. I guess it was just an hour and 50. Well, Minden just goes on just like, oh yeah, he's the fused shadow, you know, he'll be fine. Darbus will recover. I like how even his like hair resembles rock. His head's gonna ache a while considering like we embedded some arrows into his skull. Oh, container. Let's go outside and we'll see if there's any story to be told. I do want to save, yeah. Save it here. I always end up duplicating the save file just in case like we start streaming and then like we end up losing save data. Or like the stream doesn't work and we have to like quit out of it. Which I found this happen before. It has happened. You go north of here, across the plain, past the Great Stone Bridge. We'll go to Linero. The one who we seek. That's probably Ilya. Oh, what does he want? Like, it's been a solid half hour, like get over it. Yep, we will save Ilya. To be honest, I can't remember if it's now or in a bit that we get the water tunic, the blue tunic, the blue, like your blue. Thanks, Boris Johnson. But like, I think you have to do the bastardized quest of the escort mission, because there's an escort mission with Toma where you have to ride opponent behind the cart to save like Prince Rallis, I think his name is. But he's a Zora prince that's been like injured by dark beasts of Twilight. I think we have to do that first in order to then be instructed to come towards like this area to go to the graveyard. Blue passports. Going back to bloody Boris Johnson. to take this. Look at Mallow in the background, like pure angst and hatred. I think now is when we can get the bomb bag, so I might look at doing that before wrapping up stream. Considering it's like 3:45. Like, I don't know. Give us a good place to wrap up, wouldn't it? Getting the bomb shop open and getting a couple of things, I believe. One which is like, can't remember the name, I think it's like Great Eagle Mask, something like that. Where like you can use it for aiming. I'll take it. Yes, bag with bombs. You could call it a bomb bag. But we're not doing all controller. It's like if you are connected. The thing is, we can just do that. We can combine them. I don't remember down there whether it's a heart piece or a ruby. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but I fired a few arrows. There should be a heart piece. I'd rather collect some of these heart pieces now, just because like it gives us a better chance of actually like filling out a heart piece in the water temple. That creature's back on my monitor. I apologise if you heard that. I smacked it with the shirt. The thing was, like, it terrifies me every time I see it. It's not like a small creature. Was this water bombs? Something. Oh, piece of heart. Almost surprising. I think if you blow that up, it gives you like a cheat way to get into what's it called? The graveyard. Yeah, you did have my t-shirt smacking against my my monitor. I do apologise about that. Quite loud. Just terrified of them, honestly. We have a couple of things we want to do before quickly wrapping up stream. He's not here yet. He might be outside. But at some point, Goron comes outside for like support or whatever, collect donations. But he's not here yet. I'm going the other way. Very grateful for saving our chief. We want to throw you up on the roof. You're all right. Hey, we got 2 more pieces of heart, which, you know, 2 more heart containers and 2 more pieces, which is pretty good, I think. Creature is on my monitor again. Do I smack it with a shirt again, or do I leave it for this point? I'd rather grab it with something other than my t-shirt That way it can just go directly in the bin or directly into the garden. Double Rubik. So many crows. So we have our first golden bug. I can't remember, but I think there's 24. Oh, I took them all out, get some rubies. So behind here is where you'd see the Queen's grave, where you'd get the Zora tunic. I called it the water tunic. Oh god, the creature's wandered away. It was on my monitor. It's now not. Anyway, I'm going to call stream there, considering like it's a good place. You know, we'll just save it twice, and we'll do an in-stream card. I always love saving it twice because like at least it's like done then and it's come through. Right, I've set that to end stream. Audios. But yeah, I appreciate if anyone came along the way, or if like anyone's watching the VOD. We made pretty good progress today. Like, we ran through Eldin, we saved it from Dusk of Twilight. 2 hearts, 2 extra heart pieces on top of that. Oh, we got the Iron Boots, and also we beat the Eldin Knight. I think that's good progress into it. I might come back on stream tomorrow. Might do. It depends how warm it is. That's what happens. Yeah, I'm gonna end it there. It's been 2 hours. It's been lovely playing games. I'm glad that like the stream came along and like fixed after a while. But yeah, appreciate those that came and stayed. I appreciate those which watched the VOD, and I'll see you again another day.